Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, here with Digi-Richie again because he's going to walk us through how to make an external boot disk. We made a video talking about why you make an external boot disk, and that's popped up on the screen right now if you want to go back and watch that. But now I'm going to turn it over to Digi-Richie to show us step by step what he does to make an external boot disk. Go ahead, Richie.
How's it going?
Good.
All right. This is super simple, but it is kind of complex to the point where you really can't mess anything up, but you want to take your time, you want to make sure you read everything, and you want to make sure you pay attention. So we're going to start from the top, and we're going to go real slow and just let the machine run its magic. So you can see on my screen here, we got our disk utility, we have our Finder window, and then we have our software called Carbon Copy Cloner. First thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in a drive. Today we're going to use a 256 SSD Lacy drive in the rugged enclosure. So we have that labeled as a blank drive. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to name that. We're going to get a OSX extended journaled, and we're going to name it the exact drive it is. So I'm going to name it, this is the name of the machine, the operating system, and then that is a boot drive. That way if it's plugged in, there's 6 other drives in, I know exactly which drive I'm looking for. So we erase it real quick.
So the formatting doesn't take that long.
No,
obviously.
It was a blank drive, so it should be instant. It's SSD. It's about 500 megasecond drive. So then we're going to close our disk utility, and that's just to prevent from accidentally clicking anything while doing this. So I always just leave that up there just to make sure if a drive dismounts or gets unplugged or anything like that, just as a mental thing for my own personal use. So we're going to go into Carbon Copy Cloner now.
Is this a program you have to purchase?
This is a purchasable program. They give you a free demo that gives you like 10 or 20 gigs, but it's worth buying. You can use it for backing up your files, you can use it for making this, you can use it for multiple different things, but it's a really good file management software because what it does is it builds something and then it goes through and double checks and it does it against the numbers.
Sure, give me 1 second. Guys, Richie has put together an article walking you step by step through how to do this. So not only will you have it to watch on video, but you'll have the step by step so that you can follow it in the text as well. That's over on the site.
All right, so first thing we're going to do is once we're in Carbon Copy Cloner is we're going to look for our source. So our source is obviously going to be the Mac HD. Now typically that's not going to be red, that's going to be green. And what that's going to do is it's going to copy everything on your machine. That's including any files onto your boot drive. Me personally, I don't care about the photos. I don't care about the music. This is a work machine. There's nothing on it outside of stuff that was captured to it, and then that gets pulled off the next day anyway.
Let me refresh people real quick on that.
Sure.
So first off, this is for making a Mac version of this, not for making a PC one.
Correct.
And the reason you would do this is that if your computer goes down on set, you then have a bootable disk that you can plug back in that has all of your programs and all of the essential files that you need, that you set forth when you made this first this backup. So that means you can get up and running and load right from the backup disk, skipping the hard drive in the computer. Is that correct?
Correct. And that's again one of the reasons why I use this secondary capture drive. That's why I don't trust or use any of the drives in the machine. They're just an SOS backup. So you'll notice the red here. What that means is I've gone ahead and I have it preset for my customization that I don't copy over my desktop, my documents, my downloads, or anything like that. I do copy over my Dropbox because I keep a folder in my Dropbox of all software. So every piece of software on this machine, there's a serial number and everything else built in, and that's in case something ever goes wrong or anybody has a question I can provide. So we're going to go ahead and then we're going to go over to destination. We're going to select the destination. Now it's going to show whatever drives you have plugged in, and I have my normal drives plugged in here. So we're going to go to our Maverick boot drive that we labeled, and we're just going to go temporarily archive and modified and deleted items. What that's going to do is if this is an update, if anything changed, it puts the files into a temporary archive folder. It doesn't actually delete them. That way, if you ever need to get back to something, you say, oh man, there was a document or there was this or there's that or user preset, and it changed and now I'm on this drive. Well, it still exists. It's just in a CCC archive folder, it's going to be called. So we're going to do that, and then we're literally just going to go clone. And it's going to give you this issue. This is going to be the first thing it's going to tell you because this isn't an option in disk utility. If you're going to use it as a primary boot drive, you want to put an internet recovery on there. And what that means is now the machines don't have the DVD slots to put a hard disk in, they connect automatically to the internet and engage downloading the actual software, the OS. So, you know, right now I'm running Mavericks because Yosemite's still not up to snuff. So this is going to put actually an internet recovery to go to Mavericks, but it'll force me into Yosemite. Me personally, I skip this step, but for illustration purposes and for the folks at home, I'm gonna go ahead and make them that. So you click on the note there, and you just go to your Open Disk Center, choose your drive, make it a recovery disk, and you can choose which hard drive system you want. It's going to go to 1010 though automatically because that's what the latest one available is. It's going to download it, do it real quick, and because we're using SSD, obviously it's going to be dramatically faster than if you plugged in like a 2 terabyte, you know, spin drive.
But you can also do this to a USB jump drive.
Correct.
The same way. Now it may be a little slower unless you've got one of the new USB 3.0 versions. But so what's it doing right now?
Right now it's creating that internet recovery partition. And what's good about doing that for the most cases is, say your hard drive dies in here and you take it to Apple and they put a new one in. Well, when you get home, then you got to start from scratch and reset the whole machine up. And, you know, or you can do the time machine route, which is just as, you know, long and dreadful. What this means is you can actually boot from here and then just carbon copy this drive back onto your new drive. And now it's like nothing ever happened. You just have a fresh drive in here. And another advantage is, like, when new operating systems come out, my biggest thing is I don't adopt them for at least a month. But I will make a boot drive with that operating system and test all my software. That way my machine is still running the regular software that I know works with my operating system, but I can run some tests. So
sure.
I have another version of this with the full Yosemite on it right now. So it's good for testing. It's good for the fact if you need to switch back and forth or whatever. So we create our partition. We're going to go ahead and close out of the disk center here. And we're literally just going to go back into Carbon Copy Cloner. We're going to reselect our destination because it had to dismount the drive. So it's going to remount it and put it back. You re-choose it. You can go to Customize Settings, and this is just a secondary thing. You always want to move to a temporary folder. This is just for the sake of sanity, we'll call it. Deleting stuff is never the answer. If you want to delete something, that means you're going to want it in a week. If you archive it, you're never going to need it, hopefully. So we just make sure that that keeps all that. And then you want to maintain as much disk space as free possible for when you do your next one, but that's not important on your initial one. So we're going to go ahead and click clone, and we're just going to let it rip. And because I'm not copying my desktop, it's probably only like 40 gigs. So it's going to take quite a few minutes.
Right. So while it's doing that, how many times has this saved your butt when you've been out there?
Quite a few times. I mean, I very rarely have issues with the machines actually dying, but I've had issues with like older Mavericks versions. And you know, with adopting newer software or accidentally updating software. A lot of software, if you don't go into the preferences and choose, you know, alert me to update, it'll just update in the background now. And, you know, up until a couple weeks ago, you couldn't run Capture One on Yosemite. So if you plugged a camera into your computer, couldn't shoot tethered. Some guys had great success. Other guys, you know, like myself, it was just completely unusable. This thing came in handy.
Sure. All right, so we're going to let this go ahead and do its copying, and then we're going to come back and basically show it to you working and booting from it. So there you go. We'll be right back. So we just finished up making the boot disk. Now, depending on how many files you're transferring over, it could be anywhere from 8, 10, 15, 20 minutes. It all depends. So Richie, are we good to go?
We're good. I mean, right now, everything is copied over. It's all good. Next step is shutting down the computer and rebooting from it to test to make sure everything's copacetic.
So how do you reboot from it? What's the keys that you hold down on the Mac?
Because we won't be able to use that software, I'm just going to illustrate it here.
ScreenFlow. We're not able to use ScreenFlow when you're rebooting a computer because, well, obviously we can't have a program running and reset it. It wouldn't work. So he's just going to tell us about it.
So what you do is you're going to turn your Mac off, and then when you turn it back on, you're just going to hold the Option key. That's going to bring you to a prompt to choose a drive. Simply click on your boot drive and click OK. And now the first time, I'm so sorry to cut you off, the first time you do it, it's going to take a little while. The computer's indexing it. The hard drive's indexing it. Spotlight is going through and indexing. So it's just going to go through. It's going to take a little extra time. So walk away, get a cup of coffee, let it take its time. Don't rush it. Don't try to open an application. Let it do its thing. Come back, shut the machine down normally and reboot from it a second time. That's when you're gonna get your full performance.
So the cool thing is that you're bypassing the hard drive in the actual computer itself, and now you're going right from the external, but you have everything that you copied over ready to go. So you don't have to download programs, you don't have to put in passwords again, right? Passwords?
No,
you don't have to put in
everything's carried over.
any of those numbers, like those long chains to make sure that some software works. That's already there, ready to go.
So don't lose it either, because all your personal information is stored there as well. So if you are one of those people that does the autocomplete your password for your bank account, we'll say, don't lose that drive, because you are now handing your bank account and all your passwords and your address, your social, all that information.
Sure.
Just a little.
All right, cool. All right, Richie, thank you for putting that together. If you guys want to find more information or a step-by-step walkthrough, that's over on the website. Just look for the link down below. And really, this is an unbelievable option to have, whether you put it on a jump drive just to have it in case you have a catastrophic failure. This gets you going much. I mean, I can only imagine how bad. Well, I've had it happen where you lose your computer and you can't start back up. But this thing, you just sit there and you go, oh, all right. I had a problem, I'll deal with that later, but I need to get back to work. Boom, I'd boot from this drive and I'm good to go. So thank you for that information.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Digi Richie. Thank you guys at home. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. So if you liked that Digi Richie video and you would like to see more, go ahead, click up on the screen. It's going to take you over to a playlist where you can see every Digi Richie video that we have made so far. But also, if you want to subscribe here on YouTube, go ahead, give the subscribe button a push so you can see the latest videos as they get released. And that is what I have to say. Go ahead, click on one of them.